This is Pokemon in Minecraft. It's called Pixelmon, and for the next 100 days, I will be surviving in this world. I will be competing against the other people on the server to be the best. So watch my journey unfold and see who I catch and what kind of shenanigans I get into. If you haven't already, subscribe. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later. The server I'll be playing on is Pokeglobe. It's actually a really fun server and it's really easy to install, so the links and all that stuff will be down in the description. On day number 1, I had to pick what realm I would play on. You could choose between the 3 starting Pokemon, but it was pretty obvious on what I was gonna pick. I have literally loved Squirtle since I was a little kid, and he's always been my favorite Pokemon ever, so I had to play on that realm. Once I picked the realm, it gave me a choice of all the starting Pokemon from all the games to choose from. I had to be a little repetitive, so I picked Squirtle again because I just couldn't do the game without Squirtle. Now the thing is, I've never really been into Pixelmon, so I had no clue what to do. But thanks to the people over at Pokeglobe, which is the server I'm playing on right now, they made it really easy for you to start playing Pixelmon right now. It was so easy to download and start up. Like, I've had so much trouble with other mods, but this was just so easy to do. So then I used the help menu, and I decided to spend the first couple days just figuring out what to do because I'd never played it before and I had no clue what to do. I've played regular Pokemon, so I kind of had a little upper hand, but I still needed to know what to do. From the start, it looked like we had luck. They gave us some boots that made us go really fast, which I love because I think you always need to go faster in the game. We also got a bunch of Pokeballs of different variances, so we can be sure to catch the best Pokemon we find out in the wild. I looked around and found crates, a market, and a little medical center so we could heal up our Pokemon. These would all be very important because we would need to buy more Pokeballs later, and also we would need to heal our Pokemon because if a Pokemon fainted, that means it couldn't fight anymore. So with that healer, we could regen it so it could fight again. Now before you guys comment, I want to do this 100 days challenge differently. Instead of doing highlights in each day, I'm going to split it up into highlights of every 10 days. I feel like this will make the video way more interesting, and I can only put in the parts that were actually interesting, so you guys will be fully in tune the whole video. So now we'll continue on to day 1 through 10. Now it was finally time to head off on my great Pokemon journey. My goal was to become the best Pokemon trainer you guys have ever seen. At the end of these 100 days, I wanted to have a really good deck so I can take on some real competitors. And the leader of all of them would be my Squirtle. I also want to try to get one of each type because different Pokemon have different weaknesses, so I want to have a Pokemon to combat whatever Pokemon I was battling. This would be like water beats fire and fire beats grass and grass beats water. Now this place right here, I was so confused about because I had no clue what it was, but it turned out Pokeglobe literally added a place for new people to go so they don't have to go in the wild all the time, but I didn't know that at the time, so this is just me like, I don't know, just messing around, and I had no clue what it was, and I was very confused. But nonetheless, this would be very useful in the future. Just right now, I had no clue, so just ignore it for now. It was time to leave spawn and go start my Pokemon journey. I use the teleportation command so I can go somewhere random and where people probably haven't been before. And they must have been different worlds because it was nighttime again, once I had already spent through nighttime. So counting the days was going to be a little awkward. Now after a little bit of exploring in the wild, I saw the Pokemons flying in the air. I didn't really know what to do, so I just started throwing the Pokeballs at them. And needless to say, it didn't really work a single bit. So after that little mistake, I decided to look around a little bit more. I found this other Pokemon, and after a couple times failing at throwing at it, I kinda got it in, but it broke free. But this was showing improvement in actually knowing how to catch these Pokemon. And yet again, I tried and failed. With a little help from the team, I finally decided how to actually throw out my Pokemon and start to battle. My first victim would be this Ekans. He would be a perfect starting Pokemon on my team because he was level 21 and I only had a level 5 Squirtle right now, so wish me luck. But it kind of turned out that he was a little too strong and destroyed my Squirtle in basically one hit, so that was not good. But afterwards, I decided to try my luck and throw a Pokeball at him, and I caught him, so I officially had another Pokemon, making 2 Pokemon in my Pokédex so far. After that battle, I had to go back to the Pokemart because I needed to heal my Pokemon. So just one simple trip and I was ready to battle again. So after that, it was back out into the wild. I explored around for a few days and even found some berries so we can make some potions later. So after a few days of collecting some berries, I decided to fight some Pokemon. When I would fight, my Squirtle would pretty much just die instantly, but my Ekans actually turned out to be really good. Like, his bite was so powerful, any Pokemon below him would just die pretty much in 1 or 2 hits. The problem was my Squirtle wasn't getting leveled up though, or used. I ran into this Ghastly a little bit later, but he just kept disappearing, which sucks because I really wanted him. Also, if you're ever in the wild, you can see these small little Pokeballs, and they actually have little gadgets inside of them that are really useful. For the next few days, I kind of just ran MTP to random places and started to fight Pokemon, trying to learn how to do it. And some of them you see are kind of embarrassing because I didn't know what to do, and some of the Pokemon were way too powerful for the 2 Pokemon I had, so don't judge me too hard right now. But after a little bit of practice, I finally saw some improvement and started to win some of my battles. So after a large amount of time wasted in the wild, I finally found something that was going to be so useful. This training facility that I had no clue what it was earlier was actually going to be a godsend. Basically, it was made for you to level up faster. If you don't know, it's really hard to start in Pixelmon, and that's why my Squirtle was getting like so beat up at the beginning. So this little facility makes it so you can fight Pokemon that are actually your level and start training up your Pokemon so they'll be higher levels and just move up in the training camp. So that's exactly what I did. I went to the first level and just started training my Squirtle so hardcore so he could just level up and we can actually go fight some real Pokemon. But if you didn't notice, I was still using my Ekans a lot, which I didn't really want to do. I kind of want to get my Squirtle up, so I just kept training the Squirtle and going and like reviving him, going back, and just forfeiting if he lost because I was just focused on the Squirtle. Our hard work in these training camps was actually starting to pay off. Squirtle was absolutely dominating the competition. He had leveled up so fast, so quickly. Actually, not really. It took me so long here. But after a while, he had reached level 16, and then he finally evolved into Wartortle. Since we had reached level 19, I decided it was time to leave the safety of the training camp and go put Wartortle to the test out in the real wilderness. And our first competitor that we found was only level 7, but he stood no chance. We literally took him out in one move. But nonetheless, we weren't powerful enough yet. Because sometimes I would try to fight these Pokemon that were just way too high leveled for me and I would obviously lose. So for the next few days, I kind of just surveyed the area and just found more berries and Pokemon and fought and all that good stuff. After traveling for a little bit, I found this Poke Center in the middle of nowhere. This would be so useful because I wouldn't have to go to spawn to heal my Pokemon anymore. And I'm pretty sure I was the first person to ever go there because there was a chest just full of potions. So I decided to put a chest there and claim some land, and this is where my house would be. After placing down a chest and finding out where my future house was going to be, I decided to go mining just to get some cobblestone and some basic tools. It was nice to have a chest to put all that stuff in because my inventory was getting so full. As I was exploring around my new base, I found this mossy cobblestone tower that was pretty weird. I had no clue what it was, so I decided to go to it and see what it was. When I went there, I kind of got ambushed, and they would just fight you with not even, you even wanting to. So I fought a few, and my Pokemon kind of died, but luckily I was really close, so I could just revive them, and I didn't really go back. I didn't know what the point was. For the next few days, I mined a bunch of logs because I really wanted to get this base down just for a home camp. So I'm guessing you guys don't want to see a wood cutting montage, so I'll cut to the action. So when it came down to put down the base, I decided to put on water because I thought that would be a really nice look for it. It was in the back of the Poke Center, so I could still go to the Poke Center, but it wasn't right next to it. So I got started and spent the next couple days crafting just the floor of it because I might have became a little too lazy to actually build the whole thing, and the floor took too long to build for no reason. I then found out how to claim it and claimed a large piece of land just so my house wouldn't get griefed by anybody. After figuring that all out, I took my berries and planted them in the backyard so I could start to make potions later. And just like that, I had a really large berry farm, but it would probably take forever these to grow, so later in the series we'll re-come and visit this. Now after that, I still wasn't happy at where my Pokemon were, so I decided to go back to the training camp and level up a little bit just so my Wartortle would be just the best Wartortle you guys have ever seen. I even tried out my new Meowth that I had caught earlier, but it turned out that he was completely trash and I needed to replace him as soon as I could. But nonetheless, Wartortle was pretty proficient, and after a while of training, he got leveled up a decent amount. So I got a little bit boring of training camp and Wartortle was level 25, so I decided to go back out to the wilderness and just explore for a few more days. On one of the days when I was traveling, I actually found a trainer out in the middle of nowhere and he kind of beat me, but I was really close to getting him, so I was pretty proud of that. After that devastating loss, I went home and decided to regen my Pokemon. I found this Voltrobe right by my base and I really wanted him, but I just couldn't catch him in time. So for the last few days, I had just been traveling around kind of looking for Pokemon that I knew and remembered from my childhood, because I wanted my deck to be like Pokemon that I actually had some background with. And I actually ran into this Slowpoke, which I tried to catch, but he absolutely destroyed all my Pokemon, and he was level 37, way like better than any other Pokemon I had, so it was kind of expected but kind of sad. And on my journey, there were many more failures. Like, look how fast this guy just took out my whole squad. Like, it's unbelievable. I needed to get a high level Pokemon fast. And the only way I was going to be able to do that was to get back to the training, so that's just what I did. I spent weeks again just training my Pokemon to get them higher levels so I can finally get those good Pokemon. After a little while, I got Wartortle up to level 32, which I was very proud of. We were getting closer to Blastoise every single day. And right now you're even seeing a fight that we actually won. Here is one of the most defining moments in my little Squirtle's career. This is his last fight as Wartortle, and he's actually evolving into Blastoise at level 36, which I am so excited about. We are getting so close to having the team that I wanted. And there he goes. He's evolved into Blastoise, and he is the highest evolution of Squirtle now. My Blastoise was now at level 46 and my Arbok was at 43, so they were getting pretty strong. I decided to go back to home because I hadn't been there in a while, and I literally spent like weeks just at the training camp getting these Pokemon to this high of level. So once I got home, a lot of the berries were regrown, so I just basically picked them and then planted them back so I could grow more for later. Now at this point, we were getting close to the end of the challenge, so I wanted to make sure I could at least fill out my Pokemon so I'd have a full deck. The first one would be this boulder guy. I didn't know how good he was, but he looked pretty cool, so I decided to catch him. The next Pokemon I would get, I was really excited about. This was a Ponyta, and I'm actually a really big fan of this Pokemon. I worked my way around and I ended up catching it, so that would be our 5th Pokemon, which we finally had a fire type, which we needed. Our 6th and final Pokemon we needed for our deck would be this guy named Fur. I don't know how to say Pokemon names, but he was level 53, which I wanted some high level Pokemon just because I didn't want to spend a bunch of times leveling these guys up again after leveling up my original Pokemon, so this would be perfect. And just like that, we caught this one too. Since I had all my Pokemon, I found this trainer in the wild, and I usually don't battle these guys, but I decided to, and I won. With my new crew, I was unstoppable, and my Blastoise pretty much took care of any Pokemon that I was facing, so I didn't really need to use the rest, but I was so happy from how far we've come on these 100 days. So yeah guys, that brings us to the 100 days in Pixelmon. I know this did turn out to be a shorter video, but I kind of planned for it to be that because I wanted to go fast paced. I want to try out this type of 100 days. So if you guys liked it and want more, be sure to tell me in the comments and subscribe if you are new.